more of this type of stuff. Because I feel like, and I'm guilty of this too, I do feel like sometimes we're all basically just saying the same crap. So to put Ben Simmons here, kudos to you, Bleacher Report. So you guys seem to enjoy the Bleacher Report videos, and I enjoy making them. Especially because there's not exactly a lot of stuff happening in the NBA right now. I could do an Oladipo video, but I just don't want to be honest. This is a little more interesting to me. So the top 15 point guards in the NBA according to Bleacher Report: Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Angelo Russell, Fred VanVleet, Eric Bledsoe, De'Aaron Fox. I feel like people are going to get mad at Bledsoe being above D'Angelo Russell. It's an interesting thing, right? Like, you've got the all-around defensive point guard on great team versus talented point guard who was on the 15-win Warriors and then he wasn't on the Wolves for very long. The how good is D'Angelo Russell conversation is always an interesting one. Some people would say he's, top 10 point guard or whatever. Others would say he's around here, number 14 or so. I don't know. As for the rest of it, interesting things to make note of before we dive into what they actually have to say here. De'Aaron Fox played about half the season. Sometimes publications really care about that, sometimes they don't. Fred VanVleet's efficiency was kind of rough this year, for whatever that's worth. Anyway, Dinwiddie at 15. Dinwiddie's field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage have seen fairly significant declines this season. Still, the Brooklyn Nets muster just 102.5 points per 100 possessions when Dinwiddie is off the floor. I appreciate that they're using per 100 numbers. This is like my wheelhouse right here. The Warriors, league worst offense, scores 105. So basically, without Dinwiddie, the Nets were terrible on offense. And part of that is, of course, because Kyrie was hurt. But, Dinwiddie had to carry the show, certainly. I mean, their offensive rating jumped to 112 basically when Dinwiddie was in there, which it's a big deal. I mean, that's the type of thing that gets you into the top 15. The D'Angelo Russell thing, like I said, it's always interesting to see what people think of D'Angelo Russell. His ability to drag defenders well outside the three-point line opens things up for teammates with both the Warriors and Minnesota Timberwolves. But it still feels like we've yet to see the truly realized Russell. Yeah, I kind of get that. I mean, the thing with D'Lo is, like, his numbers will look great, but he'll still have possessions where he doesn't see the open guy, or defensively he doesn't bring it, or whatever. But we also did not get to see him with Karl Anthony Towns that much. And I think most would agree, even if you're a little bit of a D'Lo pessimist, there's room for him to improve, and if it's going to happen, we're probably going to see it starting next season. Fred VanVleet, his efficiency was kind of rough this year, but I would like to believe, I don't know this, but, well, here we go. I mean, when he's on the floor, Toronto allows 106 points per 100 possessions. Defensively, he does bring it while also not being that big of a guy. Free agency is going to be weird, but I do think there's a chance VanVleet could certainly get a big contract from somebody. Bledsoe for the Bucks. Did I have him on my all-defense team? I may have for all-defense second team. My first team guards were Marcus Smart and Ben Simmons. I think it was Bledsoe and Lowry who I had for my second team guards. He certainly brings it on that side of the floor, and I know the playoff disappointments are real, but in terms of regular season performance, the guy is huge for the Bucks. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks allow an era-defying 95 points per 100 possessions when Bledsoe shares the floor with Giannis. I kind of feel like Giannis is the defensive player of the year. I was riding the Anthony Davis thing for a while, but the more I thought about it, I was like, it probably is Giannis. De'Aaron Fox. I mean, again, he didn't play the whole year, but the reason why I think it's safe to just call De'Aaron Fox better than a decent amount of point guards is because I always say to myself, this is more of a hyperbole than anything, but I say to myself, for all the mess that the Kings have, they still have De'Aaron Fox, and it makes me think they're going to be okay eventually. The pick and rolls and the playmaking and We'll see if they run a fast-paced thing next season. I mean, that was when they were really effective last year, when they just ran and ran and ran, and teams were dead tired by the fourth quarter against them. Anyway, the top 10, Ja Morant, the Rookie of the Year. I think this is fair. I mean, his numbers may not jump out at you as much as other point guards, although they're not far off, but the winning. I mean, if Ja Morant wasn't there, the Grizzlies probably win 20 games, and they're probably going to make the postseason in the West, so that's massive. Here's an interesting thing. There's only like a few players ever, a few of them being among the best ever, only first-year players who have matched his usage and true shooting percentage. His true shooting percentage getting to basically 57% while not being much of a three-point shooter is pretty impressive. I mean, the inside finishing, getting to the free throw line, all that stuff is really great for Ja. He claims that he's gained like 12 pounds of muscle, and plus he attacks the rim so much, like he definitely needs to have the body to handle that. Knowing that Morant has room to improve is scary. Yeah, what is he, 19, 20? Fewer of his passes will go haywire as he gains more reps. Yeah, he does have a little bit of that like rookie John Wall thing where he sometimes goes a little too fast for his own good, and his occasional off-the-dribble three could turn into a moderate or high-volume stable. Yeah, I think he only attempts like 2 threes a game. His percentage is good, he just doesn't attempt that many. A question I have is like, how awesome can he be defensively? I guess it's wait and see. But yeah, I mean, Ja, he's got a chance to be one of the best players in the league. There's no other way to put it. Kemba Walker, Boston Celtics. Should I be mad or should I be happy with number 9? I don't know. You know, I said this before in the other Bleacher Report video, like Kemba, he didn't have a lot of monster games for the Celtics, but he was consistently like 21, 22 a game, fit in so well, played off the ball in Brad Stevens' system. He averaged like 5 assists, but in some ways he was a pass-first guy. He also played pretty hard defensively. Yeah, they say here, sticking him this low could come off as an insult. It isn't. I don't think everyone's going to agree with that, because we know how lists work on the internet, but I get it. You know, he wasn't scoring 30 a game. I think that's fair to knock him down a little bit while also acknowledge more. I mean, on the surface, Walker is not a material upgrade over Kyrie Irving, and their average touch time is about the same. Now you're really speaking my language. The bigger, more important difference lies in Walker's usage. He is a better complement than Irving to the rest of Boston's roster. I do agree with that, but they also got rid of Marcus Morris and Terry Rozier, who were combining for 20 shots a game. I really think that goes under the radar with things that went wrong last year for the Celtics. Like, just if those two dudes weren't there, and that's all those shots going to Kyrie and Jalen and Tatum, like, who knows if the team, they might have just still hated each other at the end of the day. But I think it's worth mentioning. Anyway, I'm assuming all these are nice things. Trae Young at number 8. Okay, we're putting the worst defender in the NBA at number 8. Not necessarily a bad thing. Offensively, Trae is awesome, certainly. If he's this good, if he's already a top 25 player, why aren't the Atlanta Hawks better? I mean, that's pretty easy to answer. The roster sucks. Like, he's playing with Kevin Huerter and Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter, and John Collins missed like half the season, and like, that's not a hard question, you know what I mean? Now, the things that I look at, he is dead end in ESPN's defensive real plus minus and NBA shot charts, luck adjusted, defensive regularized, adjusted plus Jesus. What the? Are we sure that even exists? I feel like if I click that link, it's just going to go to like the Space Jam website or something. And he ranks 3rd to last, ahead of just Bradley Beal and Darius Garland in NBA maths, defensive points saved. Yeah, I mean, you don't need all this stuff to know that Trae Young sucks on defense. You just gotta watch him for 4 minutes. But still, I mean, the numbers are the numbers. Yeah. The thing that I would think about with Trae Young is, you know, defensively, Atlanta's gonna have to hide him, which I think they've done an okay job of. Well, no, they haven't. They've done a horrible job, but I feel like they're planting the seeds for it, you know? John Collins got a little better on defense. We'll see if they extend him. They got Capella, Huerter, and Hunter, big, versatile defenders. You can put Cam Reddish in there as well. Like, we'll see. I feel like they're going to need a super lockdown defender, though. They're probably going to have to trade for him because I don't think anybody on that roster is going to become that. So, yeah. Russell Westbrook at number 7. Now, this is the one. I mean, if anyone's going to get mad at anything, it's Russell Westbrook. Because Westbrook fans are crazy. And Westbrook haters are kind of crazy as well. He was amazing for stretches of the season. He wasn't good for other parts of the season. I mean, he's the reason they made the Capella trade because his percentages were bad. I guess for Westbrook, it's more about, who's ahead of him? Lowry. I know Westbrook fans will think of that as sacrilege, but look, Kyle Lowry was awesome this year. He averaged 20 and 7. He's still one of the best defensive guards in the league. The Raptors had injuries for a lot of the year. They still got the 2 seed, and he was there for pretty much all of it. I had Lowry on my all 3rd team, I believe. I had Westbrook on 2nd team, so take that for what you will. But yeah, I mean, Kyle Lowry's really good. He's also going to make the Hall of Fame. He's made 7 All-Star teams or something. We'll see if he has some more things. Cue the annual Kyle Lowry is too damn high pitchfork carriers. You know what? At this point, if you don't get how good Kyle Lowry is, I don't want to hear it, okay? Either you get it or you don't. That's pretty much it. Kyrie at number 5. Okay, so Bleacher Report clearly does not care about games played, because Kyrie played 20 games. Which is okay. I mean, if everybody's healthy, yeah, Kyrie Irving's amazing. There's no doubt about that. And it's interesting to think about how good would the Nets have been if Kyrie just played the whole year. I don't know. I think the thing that I'm always waiting to see, and we're pretty much never going to see it, but what would Kyrie have looked like in a James Harden-esque system where it's every possession, pick and roll or ISO, shooters around you? But that's never happened. He was in Cleveland. Well, initially it did, but they were a mess. Then LeBron shows up, and then he's in Boston, and now Kevin Durant's going to be on the team next season. So we're never going to see Kyrie in that system, which is probably better in terms of team success and all that. Because, I mean, playing with a great player is better than only having one. But it would have been interesting to see just how truly good Kyrie Irving could be if you gave him everything for the team. The other thing to talk about with Kyrie is, is he going to be healthy? This guy's gotten injured so many times. He's missed multiple playoff runs. He missed basically this whole season. It's a scary thought, man. I'm just assuming everything here is basically what I said. Shout out to Bleacher Report. I'm not going to read that. Ooh, I love this. I love this at number 4. This is great. Ben Simmons. Oh, man. You put this on Twitter right now, the replies will be amazing. The 4th best point guard. Look, man, I have him all defense first team. Philly, he was Philly's best player. He was better than Embiid this year. He was more consistent game to game. I love this. I really do. He's in the 93rd percentile of finishing around the rim. I would have to look at his percentages at the basket. I'm sure they're in the 70s or high 60s. Nobody in the league qualifies as a more versatile defender. That is 100% true. Simmons has spent at least 17% of his time guarding every position on the floor. Save for center. Okay, cool. And among every player who has logged at least 1,000 minutes, only Terrence Ferguson and Royce O'Neal have racked up more reps against number 1 options. Yeah, Ben Simmons is really good. There's no doubt. And we saw for a stretch this season what it can look like without Embiid, and it was 20 points and 9-10 assists, 7-8 rebounds, and maintaining that all-defense thing. There's a case that Ben Simmons is a top 10 player, and he just hasn't been able to show it. So, I do love this at number 4. Do I agree with it? I don't know, but I don't really care. I love the fact that they put him there. Maybe I should have him in my all NBA guards. I don't know. CP at number 3. Yeah. I mean, Chris Paul, what was it, 17-8 or something for the year? But the efficiency, and the thing with CP too is some dudes, they have a better stat line than somebody else, but in the possessions where nothing happens, they don't get a point, they don't get an assist or anything, they do something stupid. Chris Paul never does anything stupid. He never turns the ball over, he never makes the wrong play. He just does the right thing every single possession, and when you accumulate all that with the 17-8 and whatever, yeah, this is what you get. Every so often, a superstar's decline is not just exaggerated, but invented. It's a very creative line. We all thought CP was done, and he showed us, nah, man, I'm still going. He still makes a crap ton of money, though. $85.5 million over the next 2 years. Is he going to be on the Knicks next season? I don't know. Number 2, Dame. So they're not considering LeBron a point guard, because we know Luka's number 1. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of we'll talk about Dame in a second. Like, we'll talk about that, but it's like the NBA considers guys whatever position they are, and I think that's the right way to go off of it. Because, like, I see people sometimes where they'll do their all-NBA team or something, and they'll be like, well, no, I'm putting LeBron at point guard. It's like, well, okay, that's cute of you, but he's not considered a point guard by the NBA, so your list is now worthless. You know, like, I know that sounds kind of mean, but that's the reality. So it's, you know, we're seeing Bleacher Report stick to that. Anyway, Dame at number 2, yeah, I've got nothing against this. Like, Damian Lillard, there might be a case that he's better than Luka, but you can't make it based off of this season. But yeah, Dame is that good. Also, Steph Curry is clearly not here. That's the other thing that needs to be said. Yeah, Damian Lillard. I don't need to read any of this to know he's amazing. At number 1, Luka Doncic. Yeah, we saw that coming. Somebody made the case at some point on a podcast. I don't remember what it was, but they said that the best thing Rick Carlisle did was just get out of Luka's way. Let him run pick and roll, space the floor for him, simplify the offense, and then run your Rick Carlisle stuff when the second unit is in the game. Can someone knocking down under 32% of their threes really be one of the NBA's most valuable shooters? Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, he doesn't have the best percentage from out there, but the step backs are still so valuable. It's like his reputation on those step backs is a bigger deal than the actual percentage, because defenders stay glued to him, and then off of that, he can, get inside, and Luka's an amazing passer and all that stuff. I'm very interested to see Luka in the postseason, because, besides the obvious of just, hey, it's Luka in the playoffs, who says he can't pull off some playoff run? You know, if he really is that good, can he get to the second round? Can he get to the conference finals in his second year? I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll be very interesting to see what he can do, but based on the comparisons he's gotten as a player already, and what his stat line lines up with, and what the team's success lines up with, I think we have to start looking at him with those expectations. I mean, at the same time, though, I do feel like if Luka has a great round 1, but his team loses, he might still get a little bit of that, like, this dude sucks or whatever. But, I mean, we don't know. It depends. Like, every player's grace period is different. Like, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid had, like, a 40-game grace period. Like, everybody was clowning them when they lost to the Celtics in their first postseason run. So, will Luka get the same treatment? I have no idea, but I am very much looking forward to him playing in the postseason. So, if we get the season at all, we'll have to see. But, yeah, that's it. Top 15 point guards. I really love the Ben Simmons at number 4. This is everything that I want as an NBA fan. Like, just more of this type of stuff, you know? Because I feel like, and I'm guilty of this too, I do feel like sometimes we're all basically just saying the same crap. So to put Ben Simmons here, kudos to you, Bleacher Report.